Hello and welcome to our 7th session, and in this session we are going to complete this project by adding some transition and titles. So the very first thing I want to speak about is transitions. Transition means the way a shot changes, the video changes from one shot to another shot. And normally when the shots are placed in the timeline, the transition is cut short. Cut short means there is no transition, the shot just changes from one to another. That is what the cut shots we had placed in the timeline as of now. But sometimes what happens is, say you want to convey the audience that there is a change in time. You are seeing the previous shot in day and the next shot you are seeing is in night. So the audience has to feel that change in time or change in location. Then normally that idea is conveyed to the audience using transitions. So transitions are no more a fancy thing. It is basically used to give an illusion to the actual that is the viewer or the audience that now there is a shift in time or shift in location. So let us work on this now. So for this, launch Davinci Resolve, and I am going to double click the project to open it. And when I open it, see, you are seeing everything grayed out, and the reason is we have an in and out mark point somewhere here. So by chance, if you have an in and out mark pointed like this, and if you want to remove it, the keyboard shortcut is Alt X. Remember, if I press Alt X, any in and out marked in the timeline will be removed. Okay, now coming back here in the entire video, as I move through the video, I have a shot here that changes here from San Francisco to Maldives. This is the shot in San Francisco and this is the shot in Maldives, and between these two shots I now want to add a transition. So if you can bring the this playhead somewhere here and press the up arrow, it will automatically come and sit between these two that is shots, and if required click on zoom detail. I can do a detail zoom. And now to add transition, you just come on the top in timeline and you have an option called add transition, and the keyboard shortcut for this is Ctrl plus T. So now if I press Ctrl T, you can see that the transition is added here. So if I press Ctrl T, basically I will select these two shots between which I want to add the transition and then press Ctrl T, then automatically the transition is added on both the other ends also and at this point also. However, if I doesn't want, I will just undo it now. I will click undo. If I want the transition to be added only here, I can just click here at this point and press Ctrl T. So the transition is added only at this point. So by default the transition added is a cross dissolve transition. So if you just preview and see there is a fade from the previous shot fades out and the next shot slowly fades in. So this transition is the default transition in Resolve, and this creates, so if I preview this, see you have a cross dissolve transition running here. Now here if I press up arrow and come to this point, I can change the duration of this transition by just dragging these two edges like this. I can make this transition bigger or smaller, and you can also see the time changing there. I have added 5 frames and it is now showing 1 second 10 frames, and I can change this transition, or else I can right click on this transition and choose change transition duration, and when I click on change transition duration, you are going to see this window, and I can say, for example, choose the 1 second option and click change. And apart from this, you can choose the option to start this transition at the edit point. So, the entire transition happens only on the second clip, and the first clip is fully played. Or if I choose end on edit, the transition will be added on the other side. So, you have these two options to when you add the transition. So, now I will just press Ctrl Z and I will bring it back to the center. Now, apart from controlling the transition by right clicking on it, I can also select this transition, come over here and open the inspector, and in the inspector you are seeing the transition, and right now the transition type also I can change it here. See, right now it is set to 1 second, and I will set the frame rate to 30 frames, that is the, or this clip is running at 24 frames. So, I will keep it at 24 frames only, and in transition type I can click here and I can choose different types of transition. See, there are so many types of transition. Say for example, I will roll over here and I select the edge wipe transition. So, when I click on edge wipe transition, now you can see that it wipes, the edge wipe is going to happen. So, see, you have a line here. And I can control the angle here by rotating it like this. See, I can change the angle. Say for example, I set this angle to around 80. So, you have the transition in this way, and then I can also add a border like this. I can increase the thickness, I can change its color, or if you click on feather, it is going to create a very smooth transition. So, if I increase the border value now, the transition will be more smooth. So, I can add the transition like this. So, now if I preview this, so you can see the transition is getting added from left to right. Now, apart from this, I will again press the up arrow key, come to this point. Davinci Resolve is actually shipped with many transitions. So, to have a look at it, if you click on the effects panel here and if you open it, if you come to video transition, you have so many transitions, and if you just roll the mouse over each transition, you can see how the transition is going to happen. You can immediately see its preview. See, dip dissolve, non-additive dissolve, smooth cut, and you have arrow. So, this is arrow, this is cross, this is diamond, eye in, hexagonal. So, you have polygonal, you have motion. See, you have wipes, you have different kinds of wipes, then you have different options here. So, you also have warp, and all these are special effect transition, and you have all this different kind of transition, and this fusion transition works in fusion. This we will discuss it later. Say you can have cross zoom, you can have cross dissolve, fusion cross dissolve. So, all these options are available under video transition. So, right now I leave the transition at edge 8, and only thing is this angle I will make it minus 80 degree instead of plus 80 degree. So, this I will just close the effects panel. So, with this we have successfully added the transition, and this is how transition works. So, you can select any cut and press Ctrl T to add the transition, right click on it to control its duration, start on edit and end on edit controls, and finally you can choose that is thousands of transitions available in Davinci Resolve using the effects panel. Now, after adding the transition, the next thing we are going to work on is the titles. Now, here in this movie, I want the audience to know the name of the interviewer. We have to add a title of the interviewer, and also you can see the flights at different places like Maldives, San Francisco, and whenever that shot is running, I have to add a small title about this place. So these things are two, I am going to add it. So now coming back to resolve, if you come to effects here, apart from video transition and audio transition, you have one titles panel, and when I move the mouse, just like transition, you can see the title preview here. So you can see the scroll title moving up and bottom, basic title, then text plus, and you also have fusion titles, different type of fusion titles that is present here. And I am going to go through this fusion titles to see. Now in this list, I am going to select this option, simple underline lower third. So this is the option that we are going to use. So right now here I will come back into the screen and click on zoom extend to zoom out the entire timeline, and then press home to come to the starting of the scene. And now to add this title to the scene, you can just drag it from here to the source monitor window, and in the option here we are going to choose place on top. So when I click choose this place on top option, you can automatically see the title is placed above the video here. Remember, when for audio we use place on top, the audio was placed in the downermost track, but in video when we use place on top, it will place on the uppermost track. So we have this title, and if I move it, you can see this title appearing, and you can see the transition, this entire title, it is appearing. So you can, we are going to add this simple title here. Now here I am now going to come here and select this title, and if you come and open the inspector, with the title selected, you have all the settings for the title available under this video tab, and you can see the simple underline lower third is switched on. And first thing is, I am going to change the name. The person who is speaking here, his name is Brian. I will type everything in, okay, I will type Brian, then J, then full stop, then TRWILLIGER. This is the name of the person. So I have selected his name, and below that you can choose the type of font you require. You have various types of fonts available. You can just preview all, but right now I will leave it back at Open Sans only. So you can set, let us leave this also to bold, and then you have size here. You can decrease or increase the size. So I will leave the size at approximately, say I will click here and set the size to 0.1. I will set the time, and then you have line spacing. Tracking is the distance between the letters, it is 1.1, and I will set this value to be equal to, I will just set this to 1, or so this is fine, and I will increase the size a little. Now I will make this size approximately, I will select this window and type 0.15. I will make this size 0.15. Tracking is set to 1, and let us leave the color. Tracking, I will make it, instead of 1, I will make it 1.1. It became too heavy, or I will make it 1.02, and this is fine. Now the next thing is, you can adjust the position, let the position be the same. Then you have this line control to decrease or increase this line width. I am going to set its line width to around 0.0, the size. Okay, so this is fine, and I can also change the color. Right now if I select this color and change the color, you can see only a single color is changing, or otherwise in type I will change from solid color to horizontal, and this is going to create a gradient. And for the left color I will select an yellow color like this, and for the right color I am going to select some orange tint, somewhere here, this tint, orange tint, and I will even make it slightly darker. I will make it slightly darker like this and click OK. So, we have got yellow to orange, and this is the title. So, once I make all these changes, now throughout my video I am going to use the same format. So, now if I play it and
in this film, making a documentary about how the airplanes changed the world, it was really important to go out and
see, this is working. Only thing is, now I will just drag this and place it till the
shoot
end
the real
of
world
the diamond, like this. Okay, so I have placed it till here. Now only thing here is I want all the letters here to be in capital, so that will be better. I am going to type Brian J full stop, then I will type here TRWILLIGER. So, with caps lock I have typed all the text in capital. Now, I will select this file, press Ctrl C or go to edit and copy this. I will close the effect panel as I no more need it. I will copy this, and as I move it here in the next shot here, when I just enter this Maldives shot, at this point I am going to go to edit and paste or press Ctrl V. So, this title is pasted, and I am going to reduce it to this duration, and now I will come in the title area and I am going to type Maldives. Okay, so now if I play this, see, the name appears and
couldn't get the
out. Now in this case I will again select this Maldives. I will press Ctrl C to copy it, and now I will come to this shot and I will paste it, and this shot is from South Pole. I will drag the full length. I will come over here in the inspector and I am going to type South Pole. Okay, this is the name given. Then I will select this, then again press Ctrl C, and in the next shot just after this I will paste this, and this actually is the next shot we are actually taking up, and this shot is from Alaska. I will type Alaska, and then I will slightly move it little inside, little till here. Okay, I will slightly move it in, and even here if I will press N and switch off snap and move it, and then adjust this, and I will again press N to enable swap. Okay, and then for the next shot here I am going to again press Ctrl V, and I will reduce it a little till here, and I am going to change this title from South Pole. I am going to change this to Kenya. Okay, so now all the titles have been added. So, the titles have been successfully added. Now, only thing here is we had added only one transition. I will add some additional transition, that is after this, when it comes the shot between South Pole and Kenya. At this point I will select this point by clicking here and press Ctrl T to add the default cross dissolve transition, and similarly in the next shot when it changes here I will click at this point and I am going to press Ctrl T to add the next cross dissolve transition, and I will come to the next cut here and I am going to press Ctrl T to add the transition. So, we have added 3 transitions here to these 3 clips. Now, I will go to file, save this project, And to preview it now in the full screen, what we have to do is come here to workspace, and you have one option here for full screen preview. So, you can see here you have viewer mode, cinema viewer, and if you press Ctrl plus F, then you will see it in the cinema view. I will just rewind it fully to the beginning and let us play it and watch it once.
In this film, making a documentary about how the airplanes changed the world, it was really important to go out and shoot the real world.
In the age of airplanes, we've become explorers once again.
If it was possible to shoot it, we wanted to go shoot it. If we couldn't get the shot or the weather wasn't right, we would either go back to that location or to make the movie.
Control F.
It's really important. Every shot was original and that everything was real.
Leave behind everything you know about airplanes and prepare to see them again for the first time.
Okay. So, press Ctrl F again or escape to come out, and now this completes our complete project. Now, our next job, one final job is we have to deliver this video to the customer, and to deliver this, come to the last option here called deliver option, and you have various ready-made presets available. We are going to talk about this preset in detail, but right now see you have so many presets available. So, for Final Cut Pro, for Premiere, for Replay, for Vimeo or for YouTube, you can choose any of this option, and right now I will select the YouTube option, and selecting the YouTube option I am now going to give this a name. I am going to call this as Air of Airplanes Trailer. I will give it the name. Then in the browse I am going to set its location, that is in the folder in which you are doing this introduction to editing. I will save this, and all this setting we are going to discuss in detail later. Right now you just click on add to render queue and then click on this render all. Now this entire movie will be rendered. Depending upon your machine speed, the complete movie will be rendered, and once the movie is rendered, if you come back to your location in Satvik Resolve files, you can see this is the final video, which is around 52 MB, ready to be delivered for the client. Okay. So now in these 7 sessions, we took actually a shot from the client. We took a project from the client. The client had shared some video shots, audio and some interview. We took it, we assembled it, and we made around 1 minute trailer ready. And as you made this trailer, you have learnt about the basics of editing with this. So with this we conclude our first project in Resolve, and let us in our next session discuss about multi-camera recording and the other features in Resolve. For this, let us meet in our next session. Thank you.